Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome back again to a Wednesday night stream. I hope you all are doing well. It's been a while. A while. It has been a week, of course. So, how are you all doing? The sound is still on. No, but as you, of course, today saw in the stream, we are talking about a very lovely ship that we all might very much know. And that is the ship right here. Let me try to get the picture right for you. Oh, this ship, this ship right here, this ship right here, the SS Keewatin. We all know and love this vessel, but sadly, these last days, she hasn't been doing that very well. Of course, she was closed during COVID to prevent any COVID outbreaks, of course, and sadly, she got closed down even further. And her fate is very much uncertain right now. There we go. So you can see my face better. Lovely. So, like I said, her fate is very uncertain right now. So, if in the chat later, if you guys have any questions, please ask them as we will talk about this topic. So, let's begin with something that I wanted to show you right here. It was talking about the Keewatin being closed. Of course, I have all the things right here. So this article right here. Oh wait. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second because something isn't working very well. I thought I prepared this. So this is better. This is better. Right. So where was I? Yes. Let's see. Right, yes, here we go. This is the article right here. Totally unexpected. Volunteers of the SS Keewatin shocked after being shut out. So, of course, as you can see right here, closed for the 2020 season because of COVID. Now, this, of course, is a very sad thing. The ship being closed off by cages. But let's read the article and then, of course, we shall discuss it. Or I shall discuss it. So, right here, volunteers have donated thousands of hours of their time to restore the Keewatin, an Edwardian-era steamship tied up in Port McNall. On Wednesday morning, a large fence was erected around the ship, and volunteers were asked to turn in their keys. Totally unexpected, said Wayne Combs, friends of the SS Keewatin. Up until this week, we had full access to the ship, and fully expected to have access to the ship. We think we have and believe we have an ongoing relationship with the owner of the ship, which includes the charity having access to the ship. The SS Keewatin is the last of its kind anywhere in the world. It was brought to Port McNall in 2012, and I'm not sure if you remember, in 2012 it was of course live streamed and showcased by millions. It was live streamed, showcased how the ship got back home, and it was an amazing thing to see. As part of the redevelopment and rebranding of the Georgian Bay community for the Keewatin to be back. Since then, the ship has been largely restored and has become a popular tourist attraction. The ship's future became uncertain when Skyline decided to sell its property in Port McNall. Friends of the Keewatin feel the ship should stay here, but current events put that in question. It's really hard for people who are here to understand what's going on or why it's going on. This is such a beautiful location. It should be pretty straightforward, Comment said. Officials from Skyline said the ship was already closed to visitors because, of course, of COVID. And the fence is a result of the decision to close and secure it completely. So right here, you have a picture of the ship with the fence being closed. I hate it to see the ship like that. I mean, within whole fence closed around it. I think the fence should stay. That the fence should leave. I mean, should be removed because this isn't just a pretty picture to look at. Um, the only ongoing work is some painting on the exterior, which is almost complete. Skyline said that there has been some interest from other multiple to acquire the Keewatin, but there is no information about plans to move it to another location at this time. Friends of Keewatin call Skyline's claims disingenuous and hope the ship can remain and be donated to the County Museum. We care about the ship staying right here where it is. It's history, said Combs. Skyline Investments is now monitoring the ship. There is no timeline on how long the closure might last. So that's a quite scary thing to hear, right? Because maybe it will never open again. I mean, that would be disastrous, I think. Also because there were so many things done on that ship. For example, if you remember, there was a series called Murdock or Detective Murdock, and they actually filmed the SS Keewatin. Or there was an episode on the SS Keewatin. Let me find it for you guys. Let's see, Murdock. I've seen the episode. It's very cool. It's a very nice episode. So yes, right here, the SS Keewatin in the series Murdock. So let me. Does it have sound? No. Oh God, I completely forgot something. Oh, this is embarrassing, guys. No! I completely forgot something. Oh, this is quite embarrassing. It's been a pretty rough week, guys. So forgive me. I had my wrong mic.
Here we are in 1901 in Murdock Mysteries Land, and we, the cast of...
Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing, isn't it? The SS Keewatin right here. It's amazing to see the ship with this kind of environment like one time. It's you can obviously see that this
Murdock
is a green
Mysteries.
screen right here, right? I mean, with the buildings and stuff. But it's nice to see the Keewatin in this kind of environment again, because of course this ship is pretty old. This is a old vessel. I mean, it's also the last of its kind. So, yeah, I mean, it is a pretty old vessel, like I said earlier, and the last of its kind. So it's nice to see that she's back in this kind of setting, even though it is heavily very much green screen. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Has boarded a cruise liner on the Great Lakes.
Get overboard! Sound the alarm!
So what the episode talks about is that it's supposed that there was a lady who jumped overboard, but later it turned in a whole kind of drama scheme kind of thing. So, but of course you can watch it for yourself. It's called Murdock Ahoy, the series, on board the SS Keewatin. You can find it very easily. So, what did I want to show you more? Let's go back here. There's also been a documentary about the return of the SS Keewatin, which I would like to show you, my friends. It's right here. So sound on again. Here we are. By the way, how nice, how cool does this picture look, guys? It looks amazing, this picture right here. I didn't share my screen. This stream is going disastrously. I'm sorry.
This is the story of the lost voyage of a great old liner. Inspired by two men whose love for the ship have kept her afloat and shining for the last 45 years. It'll be the toughest voyage the SS Keewatin's ever had.
The naysayers, you know, they're the ones I really want to see.
I never get worried till disaster hits.
Just heard the bad news.
Yeah, all hell broke loose.
Hey, Randy, she's hitting bottom.
I understood that there's no way this ship can go back to the deep water.
50-mile-an-hour winds. The boat was tipping sideways.
Gil said to me, can you bring this back? I had to say to myself, I don't know.
Right, so what I wanted to say, this picture right here. How cool does this look? The ship towering above these people. This, of course, was all filmed because of the ship's return, of course. But when I see this picture right here, I want this picture to hang right on my wall. I mean, it looks amazing, my friends. It looks so good. But let's continue.
To everyone who meets her, the Key is a living being with a heart and soul.
I honestly think the Key loves it here so much. She'll bury her prop so far in that muck that it will take a lot longer to get her out.
I want to see her stay around forever. It's just too valuable to lose.
So, the ship has clearly a deep connection to these people. Very much people love this vessel, of course. So I really hope also for them that it will reopen.
She's been a long time in exile. Now, thanks to the love of a few good men, she's on her way home.
So this is a pretty old documentary, but I mean it's still I haven't seen it myself, but I would love to see it. So if you guys have any questions, of course, show them in the chat. So Mr. Remco Borsato says right here, can money be donated to keep the ship alive? It's not that she is not alive. It is more that the problem is that she was closed because of COVID, and they keep her closed for some reason, which I find is very curious. So I don't think that she will die. I think she will be a long time with us. It's just that it's interesting why she isn't being opened again. So what I want to show you more. So we covered that. Yeah, here we go. This is another very interesting article. And if you have just joined the stream, guys, I know it's pretty early for some people. If you have any questions about this topic, please ask them in the chat, because I love to read them. But right here. So this is also one thing. This comes from 15 March 2022. Skyline Investments refuses to discuss opening SS Keewatin for a 2022 season. So, Port Nicole owns Skyline Investments, blah blah blah. Owner of 114-year-old SS Keewatin, 114. She's an old one. Has refused to discuss reopening the ship for a 2022 season with Friends of Keewatin. The volunteer organization, which restored and has operated her as an historical attraction since 2012, according to the president of charity, Wayne Combs. This means Keewatin will be closed for the third season in a row, said Combs. After struggling to self-fund and execute repairs over 7 long years to bring her to her fully restored condition, having to stand outside and watch her deteriorate, it's hard to take. And we know she has been deteriorating since Skyline assumed direct custody. The repair to the top deck and above was interrupted when Skyline locked us out 18 months ago. Locked us out. The word disappointment doesn't come anywhere near describing how we feel, said Combs. For me, betrayed is more accurate. Skyline returned Keewatin to Port McNichol, promising to donate her to the community. Based on that promise, volunteers contributed an estimated 100,000 hours to restore her and operate her, to pay for restoration. But now Skyline has changed its management. Regent on its promises, locked us out, and intends to give her to a different recipient. Why they would do that, I don't know. Combs bristles at the suggestion that it was charity's failure to secure Category B Category B designation that led us to this situation. The offer to donate Keewatin to the community wasn't presented as continental, and the volunteer contribution couldn't be, said Combs. Skyline created the charity, controlled its board through the 2018 season, and controlled its management through the summer of 2020. Skyline's lawyers handled the applications, and Skyline refused to provide the financial backing it knew would be required for the charity to attain designation for the ship, despite seeking a multi-million-dollar windfall. Any failure was Skyline's. So, like Mr. Cope says, he feels betrayed. And I would too. I mean, if you run a ship and you actually try so hard to bring her back and then try to restore her to her former glory to then be locked out again, I wonder if Skyline even noticed or let them know, like, hey, we're closing down. I don't think they did that even. So he feels betrayed, and I would feel the same. So, Benry Security, hello, good day to you, or good evening. Of course, I don't know what the time is for you right now. So again, for all who have joined now, please ask some questions. I would like to answer them, and of course, to discuss this with you all. So for those people who have joined now, we are talking about the SS Keewatin current situation. She has been closed down during the pandemic and is still closed. And this article right here, that Skyline Investments refuses to discuss opening SS Keewatin for 2022 season. Why they would do that, I don't know. I mean, it's what I have heard and what I saw in YouTube videos talking about the ship and how the interiors looked. I just don't understand why they would leave her closed, but that is my frustration, I think. So there's of course also a other, yeah. So right here we have another article. Excuse me. My nose. So right here, with the future unclear, SS Keewatin shuttered for the third season. So we don't have any way of predicting the outcome, and that's why we struggle to survive. To be here, should she stay? Friends of Keewatin president says. So I don't know. Should I let it read, or should I read it myself? Because my English is pretty bad, but I will try to read it once again. While other local tourist draws are looking forward to a favorable season, at least one remains shuttered for the foreseeable future. For the third consecutive summer, the SS Keewatin will not welcome visitors again this year. Wayne Copes, president of the Friends of Keewatin charitable group, said the ship's owner, Skyline Investments Inc., hasn't discussed any plans with them to reopen the ship in time for 2022 season, like we read earlier. This follows a 2-year hiatus as a result of COVID-19. This means Keewatin will be closed for third season in a row, said Combs, whose volunteer organization restored and has operated the Edwardian-era vessel as an historical attraction in Port McNall since 2012. Skyline's investment CEO Blake John said, "At this point, the Keewatin will remain closed until we determine the best and most appropriate place going forward. Whether that be Port McNichol or somewhere else." So they even are debating... Oh. My nose again, sorry. So they are even debating about maybe taking the ship somewhere else. I wonder why. Again, I know I've said why so many times this stream already, but I mean, I'm just so against it. Just leave it where it is. Just don't move something historical. It's not good. The elsewhere is question could be Kingston Marine Museum. Wait. Scratchwise does said, "Of course I don't want the ship to move, but if it can be brought to a marine museum, that's of course a whole different cake, as we would say, because maybe they have even better sufficient handling of taking care of her." Lane has said in recent past that the Titanic-era vessel will be gifted to the Marine Museum of the Great Lakes. "We are working with certain agencies of the Government of Canada to determine this," Leon said, referring to the ship's future home. "We will advise further once this is established." Combs said disappointed doesn't come anywhere close to describing how members of the volunteer group feel. "For me, like earlier said, betrayed is more accurate," Combs said. Skyline returned the Keewatin to Port McNall, promising to donate her to the community. So we read this already earlier. So this is pretty much... Oh, here we have a little bit of history. So built in Scotland, the vessel was launched on 6 July 1907. 5 years before the Titanic. So it's even older than the Titanic. It was retired in 1966 after spending almost 60 seasons transporting passengers. So Skyline has said that one issue regarding the Keewatin remaining in Port Mignol involved the failure of the RJ and Diane Peterson Keewatin Foundation, aka the Friends Group, to acquire the appropriate heritage designation from Canadian Heritage. This failure, according to Leyland, led Skyline to seek alternative agreements for the ship. But Combs said that the assertion that it was the charity's failure to secure Category B designation that led this situation isn't fair. The offer to donate the Keewatin to the community wasn't presented as a consensual. So we read this also. Combs said this group knows the Kingston Museum has received the Category B designation for the Keewatin. Neither Canadian Heritage nor Skyline Investments have bothered to keep us informed. So this confirms they didn't keep him informed. Cope said nobody is obliged to tell us anything, and they don't. We don't have any way of predicting the outcome, and that's why we struggle to survive. To be here, should she stay? Quite sad, isn't it? To not even keep them in the loop. Why wouldn't you? I mean, that group has taken so long care of the ship, and then just throw them out. Throw them out on the whole idea. That's, I think that's quite sad. So, also today, one other article, because this is still very much an ongoing thing. There was one article that I wanted to show you. Oh, this is also by the same company. So right here. Stanton's group look to make splash with Canada's first water museum. A local group has launched an ambitious plan to create Canada's first museum of water. Spearheaded by the local historian Dan Travis and the former SS Keewatin curator Fred Adis, I made a mistake, this has nothing to do with the ship. But because this is still very much an ongoing thing, there isn't much articles on her which I can share with you. So I don't know. I think this will be one of the most shortest streams that we have had till this far. One quick update what I also wanted to give you guys is that maybe with streams I will stream maybe a little bit later, because of course with all the time zones and stuff. My personal opinion is that the Keewatin should be opened as close or as soon as possible before it starts to neglect and even worse things will come. So that's my personal opinion. For those guys who did enjoy the stream, don't worry, the video will still be in the description for how messy it was. A little bit tight, so I'm sorry if it was a little bit messy, but of course the video will remain in the subscription. My friends, I hope to see your reactions in the chat or in the description. Let me know what you think will happen to the Keewatin. Of course, with the Queen Mary, I will also with this ship keep you updated on progress, and so let's hope also for better days for the SS Keewatin, my friends. So as you all know, I quickly want to thank all of you who have subscribed to my channel. That really means a lot. It always means so much to me how many of you guys like my content. But of course now we are trying to reach the 600 subscribers, and we are going pretty well. So I quickly want to thank you for that as well. A new video will be maybe released next week. I'm trying to keep it two videos in a week. Otherwise, for me, it will be too stressful. But with that out of the way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this small stream. And I wish you a good night or day wherever you are. And we will see each other on the next video. Bye-bye.